So, we are in the garden, the allotment, and it's a bit of a mess. Hopefully you'll be able to tell quite how dreadful this is. There's also a lawnmower going off next door. Hopefully that's not too loud. But yeah, bit of a mess. But Dad did cut the grass last week, so at least that is somewhere to start. And I didn't realise until just a second ago, because I had all raspberry canes along the back here. And I said to Dad, oh, I need to take them out, but everything else is fine. And I don't know why, but I've just realised that he's taken out my perfect wigwam. So that is now all in pieces, and I don't know why. It's a little bit gutting, but I'm trying not to overthink it, because I think if I'd have started it at my house, I'd have had to build a whole new one anyway. So let's not fret, and that'll give me a chance to fully weed out this space anyway. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but it was so sturdy and it was so good, but never mind. So yes, I've come over obviously with Teddy. He is over here in the shade, bless him. And I've brought my gardening fork and gloves and stuff so we can get to weeding these beds. I'll walk you around shortly so you can see quite how dire this is. We've also got Rocco, which if you've been following me for a while, you'll remember dear Rocco. We haven't seen him for some time. Hello, Rocco. Hello. He's looking greyer. I'm sure you all will agree. Right, buddy? Always desperate to come in the garden, aren't you? But anyway, let's look at the state of this. So this is the current state of things. So the grow house was here, so that is going to come back, and we are going to grow tomatoes in that again and start off our seeds and whatnot like we did last year. That's the old grow bag down there. So getting a new one this weekend, or end of this week. So we've got the 3 raised beds that were here already. I didn't have one there because that was kind of the entrance to the grow house, so I didn't have anything growing there anyway. So these are in a pretty dire state, and it looks like squirrels have been in and dug up. I think that would be squirrels, wouldn't it? So these are really, really bad, and old flowers and things that people gave me last year that were kind of dead anyway. All the soil's basically gone, and this was where we grew the beans. So it really needs a real good overhaul. I need to get the actual shovel in here and completely turn it over. So this was where the raspberries grew, fairly unsuccessfully actually, and I did have some really nice pansies in a tray that were here, but they've died. I know we did have some lovely flowers in this space. I couldn't tell you what they're called now because I'm really rubbish with flower names. And I know one of them broke because Dad stepped on it while he was lawn mowing, but I presume they probably died because it doesn't even look like there's any remnants of them, even if they'd been mowed over. Like, I can't even see where they would have been. Sorry, I'm in the shadow, like my shadow. So yeah, there was flowers here, but to be honest, growing in this actual ground is a kind of non-starter because this was actually all shingle, like over there, because there was a shed here originally. So that's why this was kind of like waste ground that I then obviously took over. Dad put the fence up for me, and we started this little veg patch. So that is the current situation. Basically, need to completely revamp this whole space and crack on with it really. Oh, I've also got some onions. Mum got these for me from a chap she works with. So we've got some young onion plants to learn how to grow. I've never grown onions, and I've also got some spring onion seeds this year because Daniel wanted me to grow some spring onions. So yes, we've also got the water butt that needs installing into the downpipe. So Dad's gonna do that for me because I don't know how to do that. Well, you have to like cut the guttering and stuff, so I don't know about that. And I do still have my little bug hotel here, but it's in a bit of like, I don't know if you can tell, but this bit is like peeling off. I don't think anything's living in there. I definitely have seen activity in there before, but yeah, I don't think anything's in there now, and it looks a bit sad really. So yeah, that is what we're working with. I need to sort of sit down and fully plan what I want to grow, but I know, like I say, I want to do tomatoes, want to do tomatoes in the grow house again because they were really fun to grow and easy. I've got beetroot seeds because we grew beetroot at our house last year, and that was really easy and fun to grow, and I think that was the first time I ever ate beetroot, and that was so good. So that was successful, and might do some radish maybe because they're really easy. I've got lettuce seeds, and I have got some bean seeds, or beans, to start from seed in the grow house. But whether the seed is too old, I don't know, but we'll give it a go. Also wanted to get a little shed to fit in this space here, and I need to get a little potting table. So yeah, we've got some plans. I'm going to get stuck on weeding and getting this place in tip-top shape. We've got all the sort of remnants from it all previously, so this was all the stuff that Dad got out of the way so he could mow the lawn. So this had all the pansies in here, this thing, obviously my wigwam for my beans, and then yeah, just pots and stuff which I need to get rid of really, because I don't need plastic pots, I only need the little ones to start them off. So yeah, so that's what we're dealing with, so let's get on and weed. Remember that last year I had a really bad problem with ants, and turning this bed over, it is riddled with ants, but they're like a sort of orangey yellow, and I don't know if you'll be able to see them. Obviously they're so tiny and it's quite bright out here, but there's loads of them, so we're going to have to treat this bed, kill them all off before I put anything in here, which is a real pain, but I think that's just going to be the problem no matter what. Obviously I'm going to put fresh compost in here anyway, but I'll treat it and then we can hopefully get rid of them. And also I've noticed that there's lots of these, oh sorry, you probably can't see with me being in the sun, lots of these holes, and they're quite deep, and I don't know what, like they're sort of dotted around, so there's obviously one there. And there's a few over here, so we've got 1, 2, 3, And I don't know what creature is creating these tiny little holes. That's what I want to know. And is it going to affect my crops? Like we've got another one here. Got a few, like one massive one there. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. But let me know if you know what creature's doing that and if it's going to have a negative impact on what I grow. Well, that is one bed down, two to go. But first, it's time to feed Teddy. Well, Teddy is fed, but it's turned a little bit chilly now, so I think we're going to head back home. But we've made good progress. We've got one bed done, which is really good. So we will have to come back and finish the rest, perhaps later in the week. If not, it will be Friday, which is when I'm doing a little bit more gardening. Anyway, so yes, that's the progress. So